So here we are again. Let's see what she needs. Yeah, that is definitely leaking. What the f. Well, good morning. So we were planning on doing the intake manifold today, but we might have a little problem with our head gasket. So could be bad news, but well, we're gonna put the system on pressure, the coolant system, see if we can find any leaks in there. And then there's also the problem with the water coming in the back somewhere, which we'll also have to take a look at, because all the windows are fogging up constantly, which is rather annoying. And then there's also the error message on the air pump system, which we'll have to take a look at. Yeah, so we're gonna sort that out before we're gonna do any more major work. Yeah, let's see if we can find the leak somewhere.
It's pressurized. We had a small leak at the top radiator hose, but we tightened the clamp and it seems to be fixed. I don't know, maybe we should order a OEM one.
I don't know, the hose looks weird though. There's a little bump in there, which is weird, and then it's also on this side, it looks like it's sliding out.
Swollen or something.
I don't know, it looks like the clamp has been set to there or something, and now it's, I don't know, it's weird. Well, let's keep it on pressure and yeah, see you in a few. So it's been a couple of minutes and it's already going down, so we're gonna leave it for another 5 minutes or so and see where I end up. But this is definitely not the way we want it to go. So far we're not finding any leaks from underneath, so and that is still leaking like a sieve, so that will be replaced in the near future. So hopefully it's the heater core or somewhere inside where we're losing pressure on the coolant system and not the head gasket, because we do have a little bit of white smoke, but shouldn't be a problem. In the cold weather it's pretty common to have a little bit of white smoke, but yeah, it does start on 4 cylinders every now and then, so yeah, it's concerning to say the least. So it's been 5 more minutes. Let's see. Are we going to be lucky or are we not? We are not so lucky. Yeah, let's check out that heater core first. Right, heater core is located underneath the dash, behind the center console, somewhere in that area. Yeah, let's take out a few parts and hopefully find a leak there.
Mat is wet.
Alright, so I think we're getting lucky that it's not the head gasket. First signs are there is something leaking. There's water coming in somewhere, so let's investigate a little more and maybe we found the problem. Something, yes, you guys have warned us about 10 times about, so let's dig in a little further. There is yeah.
Coolant. And when we trace that up, it's that.
Yeah, so I guess that heater core is gone.
Yeah.
We'll be replacing that, I guess. Right, so that's one box ticked. Replacing the heater core will be next. Let's find the other leak in the back somewhere. So there was some water forming in this corner, and yeah, it's definitely wet down here as well. And the water is coming from somewhere on top, because there were drips here, there were drips here, so let's take that apart and see where the water might come in. Yep. I can see a drip right there. You see it on top.
So it's coming from there, or the tailgate hinge thing goes here.
Oh yeah.
Maybe it's not sealing properly. It's freezing, so I hope this plastic stays in one piece. there's water here. Alright. So it's the
Definitely that one?
the linkage or the
Okay.
seal of the tailgate. Yeah, there's a drop.
It's coming from there somewhere. Because there is some sealant that shouldn't be there originally. On the other side, it's not there. So, right, so we're gonna clean it all up, put some new sealant in there. Hopefully that fixes it. If not, we're gonna see if we can find some new rubbers for these.
Don't forget the wheelie.
Right, the wheelie too. So, sealant on a roll.
Now it's sausage.
Not very impressive.
Oh man, it's not sticking very well.
Maybe we should call attack.
Sticky.
Yeah. Better or not better?
A bit. Rubber.
So hopefully that fixes it. If not, and then we're gonna have to see if we can find some new rubbers for those. Or repair it properly, take the tailgate off.
Apart,
Yeah. Okay, for now, hopefully that's good enough. So for that air pressure system, we'll have to, yeah, hopefully it's just a quick fix, otherwise we'll have to order a new one. And those are pretty expensive, but whatever she needs, she's gonna get. So here we are again. Let's see what she needs. Immobilizer. I'm gonna have some of that tonight as well. So only 3 volts, that's not too bad.
Still the same.
Same, yeah. That was to be expected. The air pump system and the ABS. Okay.
This is almost definitely the pump, though. It's an electrical fault or mechanical.
Okay. Let's see if we
did
can.
the electrical stuff,
That's true.
but I don't know if we did it right.
Yeah, that's also true. Let's see if we can find something at the
Air
pump.
system.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's check some fuses.
Okay, all fuses are good. Next.
Hello?
Let's test the what is it called?
Air pump valve.
Okay.
Something's clicking.
Yep. Right in there where that thing is. So
What does it do?
I have no idea.
Some valve.
Canister purge valve. Let's Google that. Canister purge valve. What is a canister purge valve and how does it function? The canister purge valve is a vital part of the evaporative emission control system. The EVAP system seals the fuel system of your vehicle to prevent harmful fuel vapors from entering the environment. In particular. Right.
I'm gonna measure something, I don't know what.
Yeah, well, let's see if we can find some electrical issues. Do you have any idea what measurements it should be?
Well, it looks like a positive, so I guess 12. 1. It's not very accurate. Well, but it's not active, so...
Let's just read up on some stuff. Number 4 is the solenoid. That's that one.
Oh yeah.
So this number 3 should be between somewhere. No, this is 3. That goes to the solenoid. Yeah, that's that one. The solenoid goes to whatever that is. Huh? Wait, what? The purple one, there should be one coming from the pump itself, going straight into the shut-off valve. Yeah, in case you need to know, plenty of time is always spent just digging around and reading, and yeah, that's the fun part, I guess. Yeah, that's not clogged. Okay, so we do have a vacuum leak over there. Okay,
but that's not important for this though.
No, but a vacuum leak is never good.
No.
Komt niks doorheen hier.
Nou, waarom is het nat hier?
So this vacuum hose is clogged up somewhere. Wow, why is there water inside that hose?
I don't know.
It's strange, yeah. There shouldn't be any water in there.
There's a valve in here.
Water. Oh, what the fuck?
You can blow that. Oh, it's the valve.
Yeah, it's the valve itself.
What the heck?
There shouldn't be water in there, right?
No. Let's try the other way around.
That shouldn't not.
That's
yeah, okay,
closed.
so it's closed, yeah. Well, at least the water's out now.
Definitely water in there.
So the easiest and quickest repair, if it does repair it, is just replace some vacuum hoses. So we're gonna go to the car parts shop and get a bunch of vacuum hoses, replace those, and see what it does. So yeah, we're pretty sure that this doesn't fix it, but well, who knows? There were vacuum leaks and those are never good, so if we're lucky, no faults. She's running a little rough again. But
Somehow the light is off.
okay. So we found some information on the DTC error code 443, which might indicate there's something wrong with the hydraulic pump and or maybe the relay. So we found some diagnostic diagram thing. We tested pin 15 if there's power, and there is, so that's the first step. Next step would be connect pin 15 and 2, and that should read what?
Battery voltage.
Well, I'll have to put the ignition on again, I guess.
Oké, we hebben dus allemaal fout.
So there should have been 12 volts now.
I think so.
Well, according to that, and if there's not, we should check the wiring for ground. So we have been testing out some stuff here, some of the connectors, but all the wiring diagrams we found mention different colors of cables than what we find here. So yeah, it's been about an hour and we're still not any further. What we're gonna try now is to see if the ABS pump itself has infinite resistance. Then we know at least the pump is definitely not good. Yeah, this is all uncharted territory for us, so not exactly sure what we're doing, but well, there's only one way to learn, right?
11 ohm.
So there's 11 ohms of resistance.
Is that good or bad?
I have no idea. So yeah, we're gonna do a little more research into this before drawing any conclusions here. We need to learn more before we can fix this. Yeah, next time we'll be replacing the next time we'll be replacing that heater core and finally install that new intake manifold. Hopefully we'll have new parts for the ABS. Thanks for watching and see you the next time.
Cheers.
Okay.